Okay, welcome everybody to another episode of the Rock and Roll Painter. Today we got a little painting called Nature's Sleep. When Mother Nature dumps a blanket of snow, everybody, the whole world goes to sleep. We got a big snowstorm coming in, so that's the inspiration for this. But you see, I got a dry canvas. We're gonna do something different here. I hear a lot of people saying they have problems with ovals in the contact paper. I'm gonna try to illustrate that it may not be the contact paper. There's a lot in how you handle it. So hopefully you can learn a couple things, maybe to help you out. So I got a roll of dollar store contact paper. It's been sitting on the shelf for 6 months. A lot of people just throw it away, but I'm gonna demonstrate that that can be used successfully. So I've already got the trick is to get your strips cut out in your predetermined 16 by 20, 18, 24, whatever you're gonna do, and lay them flat, lay a box on them, get them flat overnight, then cut your oval. And getting them laying flat is gonna do a lot to help you along here. So anyway, let's see what we can do here. So you see I already got one cut. So I'm going to, you want to get that curl out of it. That's the secret, getting that curl out of it by laying it flat. I'm going to get this started here. I know a lot of you think, oh, there he goes, he's not going to make it work. We'll see what we can do here to make this work. Yeah, you see, they could be a little pain in the, and you know what? If you let it through, anyway, we'll get this parsley tore off. Get that parsley tore off like so. See, the curling is what you fight with the curl. Even getting it laying flat, I still fighting the curl. But if you get to this point, then you want to just lay it up here, lay it up here nice and straight. Kind of get it stuck on. Got a little piece of tape at the top so it doesn't go anywhere. Got another little piece of tape at the top here so it doesn't go anywhere. Then I'm just going to gently let the rest of that backing come off of there. Like I say, this is flimsy, dollar store, cheap contact paper. At this point, get up there laying flat and just let gravity take over. Just let it lay. Let it just fall. If you're doing this on a table, you're fighting the curves and the twist and getting wrinkles in it. If you just let gravity take over and just let it just fall where it wants to fall. You see here we've got that template on there, sticking nice. And then make sure it's nice and flat all the way around. There you go, dollar store contact paper. Secured on there, and we're ready to start painting. Get it nice and flat. Okay, let's change our camera angle here. Get in here close. Get here nice and close. All right. So it might seem like a lot, but just take a moment, take your time. Get that dollar store transfer paper or contact paper. Get on there. All right, we're gonna start with our white medium. A lot of people question different white mediums. I mean, Hobby Lobby has this first coat white. And I like the old cans that it comes in. I think it's a lot easier to handle. That's what I like to use. All right, we're going to go with our with a big brush. See, I like to just tap around it first, just get some of that medium. On there. And then kind of spread it around. Really bend that brush, spread it around. Get out here close to the edge. All the way around. Don't give me that contact paper yet. Get it nice and close. Now you can kind of come into that contact paper. Come from the contact paper into the canvas. Don't go this way. If you get under that contact paper, that's where you're going to have your issues. They come away from the contact paper into the canvas. Away from the contact paper into the canvas. Away from the contact paper into the canvas. And just kind of work that out. Nice thin even coat. Away from the contact paper into the canvas. Kind of look from the side, see we got a nice even coat all the way around. I like to take a paper towel. I'm done just to illustrate a nice thin coat. Wipe off some of that excess. Be careful not to get it right up there to your contact paper. Wipe off some of the excess and you should have a perfect amount. So let's go. Okay, we're going to start with some I'm getting some of that excess paint out of my brush, some of that white medium. Start with some Prussian blue and just a touch of mountain mix just to grade it down. I don't want a lot of paint on this brush. Don't want a lot of paint on the brush. I'm gonna start in the middle here because this is where I want my darkest value for this thing called Nature's Rest. So I'm gonna start here in the middle. And once again, paint away from that contact paper. Paint away from that contact paper. I'm just going to work this color up, work this color down. I want a little darker value down here at the bottom than I do at the top. They give us a little more color. Some Prussian blue, some mountain mix. They paint away from that contact paper. Can't stress that enough. Paint away from that. If you get, I like the Duck brand. I think theirs sticks the best. But I'm just trying to illustrate this. You could use any contact paper and make it work. It's just how you handle it. It's nice that we have our canvas secured properly. Don't know that happened, but now we'll make sure that's secured properly. Yeah, things happen. Just continue where we were. Keep away from the contact paper. Pull your color in from the contact paper. So we want a lighter value up at the top. It's going to be a misty sky. Keep away from the contact paper. Work out all the brush strokes. Don't go up underneath that contact paper. Whatever you do, get some of that blue up here. Some of that blue down here. And I'm just going to take out, take out more brush strokes. They want a lighter value up here because it's going to be like a misty sky. See, no matter what happens, you just make it work. Canvas falling out of the easel, but no big deal. Now, when you paint snow, the trick is you don't want a lot of white canvas, you don't want a lot of paint. Get some of that blue value up here to show the shadows of the snow, and then your white will just give you highlights in the snow. All right, let's just make sure we got plenty of this blue value up here. Get some different values going on in the sky. Here we go. That ought to do for a decent sky. Now I'm going to have several rows of trees going in here. And I like to use, if you'll notice here, I like to use a half round brush that I got cut at a 45-degree angle. I think it just does a nice job to create foliage. I was going with my dark color. I need to get a little, I'm going to go into a little bit of white. Getting ahead of the game here. Just a little bit of white. And all I'm going to do is just get this up here. This is not clouds. I'm just going to put this up here to help give the illusion of some mist. And it'll give a lighter value right behind the first row of trees back here. So I'm just getting a little bit of white up there. You'll see when I come back with my big brush. I'm just going to set that in, just give it a little lighter, kind of a misty atmosphere back there. Now I'll make my first row of trees stand out a little nicer. All right, now we'll go back to that dark, getting ahead of the game. I want a little bit of a dark value here, not too dark, of my blue and mountain mix. I'm going to create a row of trees back here. Row of trees. And don't just have them looking like fence posts. Have one a little taller, one a little wider, one a little taller. These are some far off trees that are, we're going to make it even farther away here in a second. Get some treetops. All I want to see is just the illusion of some treetops up here. Just some treetops. Get some of that color coming all the way down. Now I'm going to wipe out that excess color. Just kind of tap in and just soften. I just want to soften that top edge. That'll help give the illusion of these trees being far, far away. Just soften the top of that. Just help make it a little fuzzy, give the illusion of being far away. Now I'm going to take it's just a big hake brush, a big soft brush. Just want to lightly go over it. Once again, just softening that. Just help give the illusion of some mist and make it far away. Now I'm coming in with another row of trees, some blue, some mountain mix. Let's have another row of trees, but don't copy the same shapes you had at the top, and make another row of trees down here. A little darker so it stands out. A little darker so it stands out. Get some more color here. So I just want to see some tree tops, some foliage, some things going on. Way back here, there's going to be a big evergreen over here, so you're going to lose some of that. Just another row of trees, have some of that dark color coming down. Once again, I'm just going to lightly soften that out just by blurring that a little bit. Will really help give the illusion of some distance. Kind of blur the tops of those trees. And I'm actually even going to give just a little bit of some highlight, just a little bit of a frost onto that row. Just a little bit of frost. Once again, I'm using that half around, give a little bit of shape to some of these trees. Just a little bit of shape. If I go back over it lightly with my big hake brush, just kind of sets those back. That's another row of trees. So I'm going to go back to my dark color now. Back to my dark color, a little darker, some blue, some mountain mix. Some blue, some mountain mix. I want this to show up. There you go, some blue, some mountain mix. Bring that color down, some blue, some mountain mix. Get another row of trees going down here. Another row of trees, a little darker value so they'll show up. Bring it all the way down. Hopefully we're seeing several rows of some trees. Once again, I'm going to give a little bit, soften out a little bit, just to help give a little bit of distance. And I'm going to give a little bit of frosty highlight, with this section right here. A little bit of a frosty highlight, just so it helps give some shape to some things going on here. Bush in front of a bush, bush in front of a bush. Just give a little bit of highlight. Now I'm going to leave that little bit of highlight because that'll show that row of bushes is closer than all the rest. Okay, I'm gonna take a fan brush with a little bit of white. I just want to set those bushes down on the ground a little bit. So I'm just gonna, they're all kind of floating up in the air. I'm just gonna create the flow, the lay of the land. Some blue here, a little bit of white. Just kind of don't create a straight line across the bottom. Have it some different levels so to show that there's, just things are natural, the way they grow out there. Just kind of set those bushes on the ground. And a little bit of highlight, you got a little bit of light coming through here. My light source or my primary compositional lumens will be coming from this side. So I'm gonna have a little bit of light coming in right there. A little bit of light. Like I say, you don't want a lot of light, a lot of white canvas, a lot of white paint in a snow scene. You want to have those blues that really show the shadows and everything going on, and the light just give it a little bit of highlight. You didn't have just a little mystery here. Say we've got a little bit of a path. A little bit of a path going back in there. Who knows where it goes? That's a mystery. Who knows where it goes? Goes all the way back in there. Nice little path. Now since we created that path, I'm gonna give a little bit more of a bush shape right in front of that path. Set that bush down and give a little bit of frosty highlight on that bush. Give a little bit more of a frosty highlight. Frosty highlight on that bush, maybe a little bit back there. You see there's like a little path going back through there. Kind of break that path up a little bit. Like a little bit of mystery there. Who knows where that path goes? But see, it just gives a little bit of interest to the painting. A little bit of interest is what we want. Okay, now to set all this back, and the main focal point of this painting, I want to do a nice big evergreen on this side. If you've seen some of the videos like doing evergreen, I like to use a small fan. Get your darkest color. By softening these colors back here, that'll really bring that tree and make it pop out here. So with just some Prussian blue, some mountain mist, get a nice dark color. I'm going to say that tree's right here. Think of the rule of thirds, having come in a third. Then I'm just going to lightly give a couple little branches to start that tree. And now, what you don't want to do is push in and push up, give a bunch of smiley faces and frowns. I'm using just the tip of that brush. Just the tip of that brush. Now I'm going to start popping out some limbs, get some stuff going on in the middle. Pop out a limb. And by using this little small fan, I can give some little extra limbs going on, some extra stuff going on, create a lot of detail with this evergreen. Pop that branch out, have a couple little things going on. I don't know if you can see the detail. You want to see that negative space. All this in the middle here is those branches that become this way that we see when we highlight it here. Some blue, some black. As they pop out a limb, give a couple extra things going on. Pop out a limb, keep coming down, get some of that color, get some more of that color in there. So you pop out a limb. Pop out a limb out there. Pop out a limb, give a couple of extra things going on that limb. Pop another limb out there and give a couple. See, I want to see all that negative space through there. I want that, that'll make that tree pop out here. Have some little limbs popping out on each little limb. I want to see some detail on this tree. I want to see some detail. Make that limb pop out. See all those little extra limbs. Give some detail. Now I want to fill up that middle because a lot of times you see the highlight. You see the highlight on the side, but you don't see the limbs coming to you. So I want to highlight. Make sure I get a lot of highlight and detail in the middle to really give some definition to that tree. Make sure you bring that tree all the way down. Like I say, get some of that dark, and it helps create some texture there too in the middle for some detail. All right, we got a lot going on that tree. Now we're going to highlight and bring that tree to life. But first, I'm going to get a little bit of detail. If I get a little bit of a liner brush, a little bit of my dark color, I can create a little bit of detail, a little bit of interest in the top of this. A couple of limbs coming off. Some limbs that'll be growing out there next year. A couple things coming off. Have a couple illusion of some branches. And I like to take a clean brush. If you pull down on some of these, you can get the illusion of some needles hanging down. You won't hit every one, but just the illusion here and there, give the illusion of some needles hanging down. Now we're going to create some of these branches you see in the middle. That's what really gives the shape to that tree. So I go with a little bit of my white medium, a little bit of titanium white, and a little bit of phthalo blue. Phthalo blue will give you a little sparkle to that tree. But don't have too much contrast. Don't go too bright on it. Don't go too bright. So I want some titanium white, a little bit of the white medium, some phthalo blue. And make sure that paint, push it in that paint so you have paint sticking out on the end of that brush. Paint out on the end of that brush. Big one brush and drop them down. Now, if you heard that land, we'll put that brush back up here. I want to push in and get that paint out on the end of that brush. If you see it, get that paint out on the end of that brush. And now, like I say, you've got a row of trees, you've got a row of limbs coming around, but you don't want to just have lines. You want to, the branches of that tree are kind of all at different kind of angles, and you'll see when we start highlighting. If you say we're going to start right here, see just a little bit, I'm just lightly touching, just giving the illusion. Give a illusion of some of those branches that are hanging out this way. And I hope you can see that. We'll do a close-up on this at the end. We're going to do a cardinal over here. I don't know if it's close-up. No, we'll keep going here. But I'm just lightly touching, give the illusion of some of the limbs that are hanging this way. And like I say, with the small fan brush, it allows you to give a lot more little detail. Keep going in. You're just getting a little bit of paint on the end of that brush. Once it starts running out, get a little bit more. Get a little bit more. You don't want a lot of paint on here. Get big blobs of paint. Get a little bit going up on the top of that tree. You kind of stand back and look and see you have some of that highlight, some of that frosty out on the end of those branches. Now, it might be a little brighter if, like I say, our primary composition of luminance is on that side. So if we get just a little bit brighter white, you can have a little bit of highlight on that side, lighten the snow up on these branches. Just because you got a little bit of light on that side. So that kind of lit that tree up. Now I want to give a little bit of shadow. Let me set that brush down. A little bit of shadow. I'll go back to my dark brush, the dark color, the dark value. We'll set that tree on the ground, give a little bit of dark shadow coming out here. Now we'll take our big brush that we started with. We'll set that shadow into the ground. A really soften it up. Really soften that long shadow in the winter. Nice long shadow, and you see that light back here, that primary compositional lumens come through. Whenever you create a shadow like that, it's nice to come back. It's nice to come back and give a little bit of the illusion of a limb hanging over the shadow. It just helps set that shadow down on the ground. Give a little bit of that limb hanging down, and then you want to get a little bit of your highlight, a little bit of frost under those limbs. There we set that tree right on the ground, like that big old tree. I see looking at the camera there. I'm gonna soften them down here just a little bit, pulling away from that contact paper. And I told you that the shadow kind of gets softer, gets away from that tree. That's a nice deep shadow, I like that. Now something I like to do over here, I got a little bit, let me get my liner brush, a little bit of dark color here. Liner brush, a little bit of dark color. I'm gonna create like a little dead tree that we're gonna have that cardinal hanging on, or the cardinal sitting on, kind of watching the scene. So we got a little bit of a tree kind of popping up. Where do we want that cardinal to be seen here? Have a branch come out here in front of that little frosty area there. See, I'll zoom in on this again. I'm gonna hold the canvas all the way up to the camera so you can really see it. There's a little tree there. Like I say, we'll zoom in on that so you can see it. I'm gonna clean that brush up a second. We're gonna put some cardinal in there. Everybody likes to see a little cardinal in there. And all the cardinal is, you got a red, kind of a teardrop shape coming to a point at the top. That'll be the pointy part of his head. Put a tail on it, a little bit of black mask, and a little bit of just a touch of yellow for a beak. So we're going to start with a lot of red. I get a big blob of red on that brush. So we're going to put that cardinal right there. See, I'm going to zoom in on this at the end so you'll be able to see this. We got that cardinal right there. So you got a lot of paint there, so you really need a big blob of red on your brush, and that red will pop in. Have a tail come down. Have his head come to a point there. Now we're going to put just a touch of black on there for his mask. Touch of black. There's the mountain mix, what I'm using for black. Put his mask on there. Now just a touch of yellow. Gives the illusion of a beak there. Like I say, I'm going to hold that up after I pull the contact paper off. I'll hold it up to the camera so you get a lot better view of that. But I like what I see here. This is, like I say, nature's sleep. We're getting a blanket of snow across the whole country today. And nature will be under the blanket enjoying the rest for the winter. Like a bear goes and hibernates for the winter. Okay, let's see here. Well, I think we just need a signature. We can call this guy done. Like I said, this might be a simple painting, but there's a lot going on. There's a lot going on. All those layers of trees really give that distance in this painting. All right, let's get a dark value here. And over here, we'll call this. Let me get a couple things to go. Put my signature on there, and we'll call this done. Now, the magic, I told you it's cheap dollar store contact paper. We're going to pull this off now to show you how it works. See, it's barely even sticking. It's barely even sticking. By having it up there laying flat, just tape the top, that'll hold it on. So we pull this off. There, I think that's a good demonstration of how cheap contact paper will work, and that really makes that painting pop. I like that one tree out there. All right, let me get this up to the camera so you can see that cardinal. I promise I'll let you see the cardinal, see some of the detail on that tree. Let's see if we get it up here. You see that cardinal there, kind of looking out. And you can see some of the detail. You're getting into the light there. See the detail, that detail on the tree. Go back up there and see that cardinal again. Going off into that path. All right, we're going to put this back in our easel. Put it back in the easel. Just want to take 1 second to show you what we're looking at for next week. Got a nice barn coming in, a nice big moon. That'll be next week. Anyway, this is That's all for today. That's nature's sleep. Nice simple painting, but you see in that oval, a lot of people been asking about ovals. I think this was a good demonstration of cheap dollar store contact paper. Will work, and it's all how you handle it. If you have any questions, feel free to contact me. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you give it a try. Peace out.